Hello everyone. Welcome to the purple classes of the Ras Indica IS Academy Desh Badala Padhai Bad. So again, yet we have come up with another new topic, but it is on the same subtopic of the first topic of the GS paper 3 of the UPSC mains examination. So as you all know that we have already finished three lecture in this series, and this is the fourth lecture. And today I will be discussing you regarding the issues related with employment, right? So this is the next topic that we wanted to study today: issue related with unemployment or employment. Now this is what is the paper for that we call it as GS paper 3 of economy. Okay, general studies paper 3, you can see over here they have written it, right? So under that we have finished issue related to planning, issue related to mobilization of resources, issue related to growth and development. Today we will be discussing the topic on issues related to employment. So with this today's topic, we will be over with the first main topic of GS 3. First main topic will be over, right? So let's start. Employment and issue, or we call it as unemployment or issues. So first of all, before we go and read about anything, first of all, we should have a very basic understanding. Very basic understanding. What is the meaning of employment? What is the meaning of unemployment? What type of employment? What exactly we call it as employment? What we call it as unemployment, right? So first of all, we will be starting with bigger picture. Rural versus urban. What is the meaning of employment? Rural employment means that anybody who is engaged in agriculture activities, farming activities, forestry activities, or anything which is related to, because in the rural area we are finding most of the natural resources, right? You have a fishing, mining, small scale industries, all we call it as cottage industries, right? Or we call it as cottage industries. So these are all being part of the rural employment, okay, rural tourism and all these things. So it creates employment for the rural area, rural people, correct? Then we have a unemployment, urban employment. That means they have a totally different set of work. They have a totally different set of work, and normally urban employment is also sometimes called it as professional service employment. Professional services, professionally mainly they are dealing with service sector, urban and manufacturing. And manufacturing, they are dealing with, okay, manufacturing of any goods, services like finance, law, consulting, etc., etc., retail, healthcare, education, technology. All these are being called as urban employment giver jobs, right? Now, now we move into the examples. We have already listened some of the example in the previous slide, but here we have given a elaborate examples of rural employment example. Agriculture and farmings are there, right? Since it is a very basic and static preparation, it is a very basic and static preparation, so this will be helping you in your foundation. If you are able to attend these classes properly, if you have able, or if you have done that line by line and properly attended all the lectures, your foundation will be very strong. After that only you will be able to cater any issue related to the civil service examination. You don't need anything else, okay? After that only you have to just supplement this. You have to supplement this with current affairs, okay? Because we will be having our Purple Academy current affair magazine will be also coming, okay? So you can just supplement these notes with the current affair. You don't need any other extra material. We are preparing these slides in such a way that you have holistic preparation and you don't have to go and search for other study material, right? So rural employment example, agriculture and farmings are there. Then livestock under agriculture, we have crop cultivation, livestock rearing, agroforestry, all these things are there. Forestry and fishings are there, where mainly like forestry you do in the jungles, fishing in the near lakes, coastline, and various areas, mining, extractions, tourism, and hospitality. These are all the very, very important basic activities under which people are employed in our country. And this is also called as primary sector of employment. This is also called as primary sector of employment, right? Primary sector, we have various sectors, primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, and quaternary sectors are there. So this is the primary sector of employment. And tourism and hospitality we cannot solely put under rural employment, but you can put under both urban and rural. Then we have urban employment examples are there, like professional services are there. Any services you are doing, you are providing some finance, you are providing some law, you are providing some accounting services, you are providing some engineering service, you are providing some consulting service, anything you are providing, that is coming under professional service. So this is a service sector. Okay. Then we have a manufacturing of industry. Lot of industries are there in the city area. It may be related to your textile, toy industry, electronics industry, technical goods, engineering goods, and then again they require a lot of people to be employed over there. Retail and commerce are there, right? You have a lot of shopping malls are there, like we other D Mart is there. Then we have Big Bazaar. Okay, Bazaar. These are retail and commerce stores. Technology and innovation. IT companies are there. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Infosys, TCS. All these things are there. Okay, uh, Microsoft, uh, Google, Infosys, TCS, etc., etc. There. Then healthcare and education. You have a lot of educational institutes are there. You have a very big, big hospitals are there. You have a lot of big clinics are there. Very big universities are there. They're employing a lot of people, employing the form of doctors, nurses, healthcare staffs, professor, administrator. These are all coming under the urban employment services example that they are giving, right? Now, there is one more difference. That is the main difference. That is called formal type of employment and informal type of employment. Formal is like formally. Formal, what is the meaning of formal? Is the in the real sense, it is the same thing which you are persisting, right? Here, what happens in the formal employment? You will get a call, you will get a proper contract, you will sign the contract, you will get regular paychecks every monthly or quarterly or whatever the contract says. And along with that, some social benefits like health insurance you will get, retirement plans, pension plans you will be getting, labor regulations. The company will be following all the labor regulations. Normally, all the big companies comes under this category because they have to adhere to all these regulations, right? So we call this as formal, and it is the very important type of giving employment, because here the labor is having proper working hours, the labor is having proper safety standard where they are working. They are not being treated like a slave. Minimum wages are already being set over there. Okay, so large corporations, government agencies, and various established businesses are there who hire the people under the formal agreement. Then we have a informal agreement or informal employment. The main difference is it is not regulated. That means here there is no contract at all. Here, you may have a regular paycheck, you may not have regular salary. You may get health insurance, you may not get health insurance, you cannot force them to do. You are lacking various things here. You will not get job security, anytime they can throw you out of your jobs, right? You will not get proper legal protection because there is no proof of that you are already working over there. You will be acting like a domestic slave, sometimes domestic labor worker. These entities are unregistered, and they hire the people as labor. They do their work and they pay some minimum wages, not even minimum. They do not get minimum wages also. They get lot of cuts in their wages, right? So it is a non-regulated type of a employment. Most of our country, most of the people in our country are under the informal employment, where the things are not regulated, where proper labor laws are not followed, proper environmental laws are not followed, and lot of regulation that has to be followed is not being followed, right? Now we show you some formal employment example: corporate jobs, public sector roles, professional services, and manufacturing. These are all areas like in the corporate job, you have a large corporation, like which corporation you are working in, like big private companies, okay, big private companies like Microsoft, then Google, Facebook, Accenture, IT sector, because I am taking the name of IT sector because I know that sector properly. Then public sector roles, then you have a lot of government jobs are there, right? PSUs jobs are there, correct? Then you have a lot of public sector roles are there. You can be IES, you can be IPS, you can be provincial civil service, PCS officer you can become, right? So you, all these things is highly regulated by the government will provide you with all the benefits, right? Then public sector, like education services, healthcare services, everywhere public sector jobs are there, which are highly formal in nature. Professional service like finance, accounting, engineering, medicine, information, these are also providing proper formal employment. Manufacturing, big manufacturing companies like Reliance is there, okay? Reliance, Adani, Bata in the shoes area. Then we have DMart, right? Then we have Pepsi, we have Coca Cola. These are highly big manufacturing industries, fast moving consumer good industry, FMCG companies, fast moving consumer good companies are there. They have to follow all the regulations of the government, they have to follow all the occupational safety standard, they have to follow all the industry norm, they have to properly provide the wages as per given by the government of India. Proper set working hours will be there and good workplace condition. That is the formal employment example. Now come informal employment example. Who are the people who are working in the informal sector area? You know, street vendors and hawkers, those people who are selling the things on streets. Okay. Recently, government has started Swanidhi campaign for providing them with rupees, I think 10,000 rupees advance during the time of COVID. During the time of COVID, the street vendors have been suffered very heavily. So government has started with providing with them advance so that they can start off their business. Domestic workers are there in your company, right? In your house, housemates, cleaner, gardeners, caregivers, all these people are there who are again part of the informal employment. Day labor and construction worker, you see a lot of big buildings are there, those who are doing construction worker, manual labor, manrega worker, correct? They are not having any contracts, anytime they will be out of their job. Then small scale trader, okay, they don't have proper license, they just normally create their roadside stalls and they just have their vending machines and everything, but they don't have any kind of security, formal security they are not having, right? Then unregistered self employment, okay, those people who are doing a freelance work. Freelancer is a very like popular type of employment right now. For a freelancer, the people are working in multiple companies, okay, as a freelance. So it is like people who are doing odd jobs, and because they are not being part of any contract, you can see that writers are there, artists, taxi driver, gig economy, you know, Zomato, Swiggy, right? Tomato, Swiggy, Amazon, Flipkart, delivery agent, okay, those people who come to your house, those who come to your house to deliver, they are called as gig workers. They don't have proper working condition, don't contract, they are getting only money for how much order you have paid, rest everything is on them, only they will be paid for that much. Okay. Now we tell about the important working age population. Whenever we say what is the meaning of working age population, what do you mean by working age population? So the set definition in the world of working age population is 15 to 64 age category. 15 to 64. Below 15, dependent. Above 64, also called as dependent, but right now people are working more than 64. But as per the international definition, the working age population is defined as those people who are under the age category, between the age category of 15 to 64. This is called as working age population. And whenever we find out the employment unemployment ratio or any other thing, we are going to use the data of this only. Okay. Now employment data is being, like in our country, like employment situation in the country, there is a periodic labor force survey. Okay. That is called PLFS, people labor force survey. This has been conducted by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. We call it as MOSP. We call it as MOSP, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So they provide you a very important data on labor force, quarterly change in various labor force, and this survey is being conducted between every 1st July to 30th June of the next year. Okay, so now let's discuss some of the important definition. These are very very important definition. Whenever any article coming in the newspaper, they use these type of definition. They will write right now the level for participation rate is that, working population ratio. Okay, so you should know these definition by heart, and it is directly whenever the question comes, whenever the any question comes regarding that, you have to quote these word, you have to quote these terms: unemployment rate, working population ratio, labor for participation rate, active status, current weekly status, like that you have to quote. So what is the meaning of labor force participation rate? So labor force participation rate is defined as the percentage of people in labor force in the population. That means those people who are working plus those who are not working but seeking, but seeking the work, that they need the work. This is called labor force participation rate in our country. Okay, in the population. Then what is the meaning of workers population ratio, WPR? It is the percentage of employed person in a population, of the total population. You got it? Okay. Then unemployment rate. What is the meaning of unemployment rate? It is a percentage of people unemployed. That means those who are seeking the employment among the people in the labor force, total labor force. Total labor force means working and non-working. So non-working divided by working plus non-working, it is called unemployment rate. Correct? And there are two more important terms are there that are called activity status, usual status, activity status, current weekly status. Okay. So this activity of a person is determined on the basis of activity persuaded by a person during some specific reference period. Okay, so it is determined like if they have a reference period of 365 days. Okay, within this 365 days preceding the date of survey, it is known as usual activity status. So there will be a survey that will happen, and they will be asked the question based on what they have done in 365 days. Then there is a current weekly status. So the activity status determined on the basis of reference periods of last 7 days what that person has done, last 7 days. preceding that survey. Okay, today if survey has to be done today, then last 7 days what the person has done, that is called current weekly status, that is there. But the most important are these three. Most important: labor force participation rate, worker population ratio, and unemployment rate are very, very important for this category. Okay. So, labor force participation rate, I just wanted to explain one more time. Currently employed or seeking employment. Okay. Labor force working plus seeking, right? So, this is our labor force participation rate. Correct. So those people within the age category of 15 to 64, if they are working or if they are seeking the work, they will be part of labor force participation rate, right? Then people who are not looking for job, that means if I am a graduate, but I am simply sitting at home, I am neither working, I am neither working, neither seeking, neither working, neither seeking, I will not be part of labor force participation rate, whatever I have done, right? So if you see over here, labor force participation rate is employed plus unemployed, correct? And if anybody who is neither employed and neither seeking, so we will not be including that person in the labor force participation rate. You got it? Very good. So here are some of the data and some of the statistics. Okay. So look into the data properly. If you can see here, here we have written work population ratio and labor force participation rate. Okay. And unemployment rate. I hope everybody got it. I will be just explaining this thing. WPR, worker population ratio, and labor force participation rate, and unemployment rate. So there are 5 years to compare. In 2017-18, worker population ratio is 46% and it is increasing. That means more and more people are employed. Labor force participation rate, you can see, is also increasing. And since these both are increasing, that is why unemployment is decreasing. Okay, unemployment is decreasing in our country, right? This is what the way you have to read the data. Then you can see over here, it is regarding the male and female comparison have been given for the worker population ratio and labor force participation rate. You can see for the male, it has increased from 71 to 73, and labor force participation rate has increased from 75% to 77, and unemployment rate for male is 4.4% in 2021-22. For female, is you can we can see that it is only 22% labor worker population ratio, and labor force participation rate is also very, very less, but it has increased by a ninefold, 9 percentage. You can see 23 to 32.8% and 22 to 31%. So it has increased by 9%, 9 or 10% you can keep. So earlier, the female labor force was having around 5.6% unemployment rate, but right now 3.3%. That means those women who are seeking employment, most of the women are getting only 3.3% of the women who are seeking employment are not getting jobs, and 4.4% of the male who are seeking jobs are not getting jobs. Okay, so male worker population ratio and labor force participation rate has significantly risen. Male unemployment rate has declined to 4.4%, and for female, both has increased, and unemployment rate has in declining trend. Declining trend. So this I got it. This data I got it from Directorate General of Employment from the Government of India. And now we can see over here the places like structure of employment. Structure of employment in our country. If you can see here, in 2011, 49.26% people of our country of the labor force are there in agriculture, and from 2001 to 2021, within a span of 10 years, it has been declining. Okay, by 6% it has declined, right? And further increase, the decline of this has further increased in the manufacturing sector and service sector. Right now, if we go by the data, this is a 2021 data. Okay, once I get the updated data, I will let you know in the current affairs lectures. 43.96% of the labor force of our country, labor force I'm talking, not the population, labor force I'm talking about, is working in agriculture sector. 25.34% of our population is working in industrial sector, and 30.7% of our population working service sector. Okay, so we will be updating the data once we get the data, and we have sourced this from the statistica. Okay, so credit goes to those. Now, quality of employment. Quality of employment, what is the meaning of quality of employment? That means wherever you are working, what are the conditions, what are the conditions under which you are working, whether you are working in a a formal setting, whether you are working in an informal setting, and whether you are getting the benefits of the employment or not, and what employment means, you are getting it or not. Okay, determined. So the quality of employment, like, what is your overall satisfaction, what is your overall satisfaction, that is one thing. Well-being, second one. Security benefit, that is the third one. And all these things, there are a lot of dimensions are there. So first of all is job security, whether wherever you are working you are getting a job security or not, against layoffs, again firing, again unjust dismissal. Okay, regarding this, it is not like that if you are getting terminated based on certain work, okay, that means you have done something to the company, and still you are looking for job security. No, there are certain which include, like, if you are sudden layoff has been done, sudden hiring event has happened, sudden unjust dismissal has happened to your job, whether you are getting fair compensation for the work that you are doing. That means it is not like that two people like A and B, for A is getting 10,000 rupees for one job and B is getting 15,000 for the same job. Okay, so whether you are fairly compensated for that job or not based on your skills and effort, fairly compensated or not. Okay, whether proper cost of living factor has been entailed or not, what are the benefits and perks, whether you are getting any benefits or perks or not, whether you are getting any benefits or perks or not. Got it? Then, what is your work life balance? What is your work life balance, whether it is flexible hours or whether you are being suddenly called, whether you have a reasonable working hours or not, or sometimes they say that you have to work 24 cross 7. Okay, this is a hypothetical situation, but sometimes people get hired and even they have a 8-hour working job, they are working for 16-hour, 20-hour, okay, like that. Okay, whether you have a proper work life balance or not. What is the career growth in our organization, whether your employer is providing you with proper skill development, whether your employer is providing you the opportunity for advancement in your career. Okay, growth opportunity, whether your employer is providing that or not, that is again one of the quality of employment that we take. What is the safety rating of your employer? Is there any physical hazard issues are there which employees is ignoring, which employer is ignoring? What type of social setting, whether, like, if you have a pregnant employee, or any employees having 0 to 5 years of child, and they, whether you have a crèche facility or not in your organization, right? What you are providing your employee, whether if they have any kind of depression, anxiety because of the work, mental health work, right? Whether the people are satisfied or not. I am not saying that you can satisfy everybody, but overall satisfaction is there or not, or they are feeling cheated, feeling of cheating is there or not. Okay, so factors, these are all the important factors, and few more factors are there, whether there is any kind of discrimination that is happening. Discrimination, like if you are working in America, there is a concept of blacks and whites, right? In India, we have that scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC. People get we have a lot of diversity, whether the male female equality is there or not, whether they are being treated properly, whether there's gender neutrality or not, whether based on the ages and regardless of the race age, okay, whether the your social setting, whether your employment place is inclusive or diverse or not. There are a lot of multinational companies, MNCs companies are there who are having a very diverse culture. They have the people from whole globe. So this is a multicultural companies are there. Then whether you are getting social protection, like whether you are getting health insurance, disability benefit, disability insurance, because if you are working in a factory where there is a hazardous work is there, so you may get the disability insurance also, worker protection, pension funds, so that they can mitigate the risk. Whether employee can raise their voices or not, that has also been counted under the quality of employment. That has also been counted under the quality of involvement. Whether you can raise your rights or not, whether you can have a voting rights or not, whether you have a right to protest or not, this is all part of quality of employment. So if any organization is having these type of qualities, then we can call that as a diverse environment. Then health and safety, social inclusion, and government policy initiative, all these are the important places. Like total 13 points I have discussed. You may have some other points also, but most of the points are being nearby only. If these are being followed properly, that means your quality of employment is good. But if any of these is not being provided properly, then your quality of employment is not that much good. So it is relative. Now we are coming into the Indian context of the quality of employment. What is there in the Indian context of quality of employment? Now we will be discussing the quality of employment related to Indian context. So what is the quality? What is the quality of employment in India? We have discussed what is the good quality, what we call it as good quality in the previous slides, right? In Indian context, what type of employment right now we are having? First is informal sector dominance is there. More than 60 to 70% of our labor force is working in the informal sector. That means they are lacking the job security, they are lacking the social protection, they are not getting proper access to the benefits, like anything like your healthcare, education facilities, retirement benefits. So they are all working in an informal setting. 70%, if we call it by a 70%, we will be updating you with the data. Do not go by the real data, okay? Do not think that this is what exactly right now is a real data. I'm just giving a what we call it as some general answer for that, okay? So there is a need to bring this informal sector into the formal setting, okay? Then only we will be able to uplift the living standard of the people of millions of workers. Then there are a lot of wage disparities are there, a lot of wage disparities. Some people, because our Indian workforce is low skilled, working in the informal sector, so that is why there is a lot of wage disparities. Some jobs are getting high paying jobs. If you go to IT sector, you get good amount of packages, you get good amount of packages. But if you go to some other sector, manufacturing sector or certain other sector, some other service sector, if you go, you will be getting very low packages. Like if you are going into the government sector, government is providing good salary. Like if you go to the government schools, government school, even the primary teacher is earning around 50 to 60,000. But same primary teacher who is working in the private sector is not even getting 10,000 rupees. So there are a lot of wage disparity among the same skill set of the people. That is why people are mostly looking for the government jobs in India. Because in the private sector, in certain categories, we are not providing them with the proper wages. Social protection, India social protection is lacking, like healthcare schemes are there. Unemployment, like if somebody is unemployed, we are not providing them unemployment insurance. But in Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act scheme, if you applied under that and within 15 days if you not get the job, you will get unemployment allowances. But it is only for the unskilled worker. What about the skilled worker? Health insurance, Right now, government has even provided Ayushman Bharat Yojana, PM Ayushman Bharat, where 5 lakh rupees insurance has been done. Health insurance for a secondary and tertiary care is being provided to the around certain percentage of the household, because they have a lot of out of pocket expenditure if somebody gets ill, right? 5 lakh rupees per household per year is being provided, social protection. So slowly the area is getting benefit from the government. Then skill development and education is one more issue. In India, government has started Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Various other schemes are being running by the government, right? So we have to equip our skill, we have to equip our worker with the skill. We have to provide with the 21st century skill. 21st century skill we wanted to provide. Still we are lacking behind in this in Indian context. Gender disparities, we are not we don't have gender parity. Labor market in India is not providing gender parity. Women are still facing a lot of barriers, whether it is related to education, whether related to jobs. Even if you see that, if you go by this, if you see parliamentary seats, right now in 2023 only they get 33% reservation in parliament. Before that, there was no reservation for them. There are a lot of wage gap. For the similar work, a male person is getting some other wages, the female is getting some other wages. They are not being giving good jobs in the private sector, or they are not being given proper formal jobs. They are being discriminated in their workplace. So this is again a issue in the Indian context. Labor laws and regulation are highly strict. They are so strict that people don't want to open company in our country. Slowly government has come ease of doing business. Ease of doing business. EDB. So the ranking is slowly improving under that, because government is now providing protection to the employee also and employer also. Proper decent working condition. Decent working condition are not being provided. Proper worker wages are not being provided. Proper labor laws are not being provided. So again, this is again a problem with the Indian context. Job creation issue is still there. We need jobs in diversified field. We need jobs in diversified fields. It is not like that we can only raise the jobs in the service sector. No, for service, manufacturing, agriculture, we need to move into the more diverse field, more and more technologically advanced field that we wanted to move, but it is not being taken at the pace it has to take, right? So this is all about the Indian context of the job market. Now we are moving into the causes of unemployment in India. First of all, India has a highly rigid caste system. Here, there is a segregation that happens in the rural areas. People are not moving away from that. Highly rigid caste system we have, and people are being segregated that this type of work belongs to you, that type of work. So they have various caste in the name of their employment. Caste are being based on employment, right? Economic growth has not happened to the pace it has to happen. Because economic growth happens, economic growth, investment come. Once the investment will come, jobs will be created, unemployment will go down. Huge population pressure, huge. I think in 2023 July month, we have crossed China, most populous country of the world. We are still the youngest, we are still the youngest country in the world. What is the purpose of being youngest if we are remain unskilled? If we remain unskilled, what is the purpose of remaining youngest? So we need a skill development program. Our economic growth has not kept pace with the population growth. In our country, agriculture is seasonal. Only seasonally it provides jobs. but it has to be made round the year so that it keeps on providing jobs, and people from agriculture need to move to the service and manufacturing sector. We have lost small and cottage industries to the big industries. Big industries have taken over the small and cottage industry, because earlier small and cottage industries keep on providing 5 to 6 employment in their home, in their small factories. But now these small employment are being totally wiped out. Saving rate is very low. Investment is low, saving rate is low because of inflation. महंगाई बढ़ेगी तो पैसे खर्च हो जाएंगे, तो सेविंग नहीं होगी. That is why RBI keeps on looking for inflation, to keep inflation below 4%. That is optimum 4%, or it should not go above 6%, right? Proper economic planning is not being done. What exactly we wanted to achieve in this much year, that much year, but now slowly Niti Aayog is working in that area. They have prepared plan for 3 years, 5 years, sorry, 7 years, and 15 years long term plan. Labor immobility. Labor wanted to keep at their own place. Labor don't wanted to move to the other places. They wanted jobs at their own location, but actually it is not going to happen. Labor has to move to service and manufacturing sector. Then only we can optimally utilize. Then only we can optimally utilize our population. Job specialization has to be changed. They are to be taught in 21st century skills. They are to be taught in the 21st century skill. That is not happening. Essential skilling are not being done in a proper way. Still, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana is being running, where government is skilling the people. This is a big flagship program. But these are the important causes of unemployment. So whenever you are reading that, automatically this data comes handy. You just have to remember 11 points, and you can elaborate on that. Even if you just remember a point, automatically you can write 3 4 lines on that. Correct? This is the way you try to remember the things in the exam. Now we are looking forward how we can restructure our workforce. Yeah. So restructuring of the workforce. So restructuring means, now we have already done the causes. We have also done like what is the Indian context, and what is the problem with our Indian context, right? So now we need how we can restructure our workforce. So our restructuring of the workforce need multifaceted issue. Multiple way of interventions are required, in the form of technological advancement, in the form of, we know that there are a lot of technological advancement that is going on in the world. Okay, every day, every time, every minute, the world is changing in the form of technological advancement. Globalization, demographic changes are happening, government policies are changing, and social economic dynamics are changing. So technology and automation is still one of the topmost category. Like, artificial intelligence, robotics have taken away the jobs, right? So if you are not dealing with this, because they have already removed the obsolete technologies, artificial intelligence and robotics, even they are doing the surgeries also right now. Okay, so real demand of the workforce, we have to identify the real demand. Identify the real demand. We need to update our skills. We need to update our knowledge in the field of data science, cyber security, artificial intelligence, and digital marketing. All these places are there. We need to focus. We have to skill our people in these areas. Skill development, obviously. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. This is a flagship scheme. Gig economy worker. Gig economy, like people who are working in Zomato, those who are delivery, Swiggy's. Okay, Swiggy is there. Then we have other like Amazon, Flipkart. Okay, Flipkart. Sorry, bear with my language. Sorry. So the risk of gig economy, because right now no company wanted to provide, not many, sorry, not no company, it is not many company wanted the permanent worker. They wanted a worker who can work as a contractor. They should do the work, they get the money, and rest company is not responsible for the things. Okay, so because this gig economy is already reshaping the traditional employment. Right now, most of the people are working in 2 3 companies, right? So it is posing a challenge of job insecurity and social protection. So we need to make sure that this gig economy, those people who are working in our country as a gig economy, so we need to support these people who are working in the gig economy, right? Recently Maharashtra will be coming out with the rules regarding what type of like regarding the minimum wages. Do you know that minimum wages are also not being provided to these gig economy workers? They are not getting fair treatment. They are running away, they are running and they are speeding up their bikes, and they don't have proper social protection to them, not their families. So we need to restructure, so that we should make sure that we make a policy in such a way that we should provide them a fair treatment to the gig economy worker. Remote work and digital connectivity, COVID-19 have shown us a lot of things. It has shown us the positive thing, it has shown us the negative thing. During that time, digital connectivity has increased manifold. Remote employment opportunities have even started. People are doing the freelancing work, right? So a lot of infrastructure, a lot of investment is needed. A lot of investment is needed in infrastructure. A lot of investment is needed in the technological service. So we need to bridge. We need to bridge the digital divide. We need to provide skill development in these areas. Then gender division, diversity, all the people have to be included. STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. STEMs, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. This is the area where we wanted to increase the share of the female workforce. We need to remove the barriers. Right now, the girls are taking admission in the technological field, engineering field, mathematical field. Earlier, they are only looking for the educational fields. So we need to bridge the gap. We provide them with technology. We need to provide them with the education where they can enter in these science like STEM fields. Government is supporting entrepreneurship and startup. Around some 86 70,000 startups are there in our country. In 2015 there was 100 and 200 startups were there, but right now it is above 70,000 startups are there in our country. Government has started startup mission plan, startup mission, production link incentives in all the area. Government is trying to change the rules, labor rules. Government is trying to change ease of doing business. People get the benefit, government get the like the companies get the benefit out of it. Then migration and urbanization has to be tackled properly. We have to make sure that they get sustainable migration. Sustainable migration. It is not like that, oh, like lakhs of thousands of people are migrating, because otherwise they will go to cities and create slums. Urbanization has to be sustainable. Amrut mission, Jawaharlal Nehru, JNU, RM, Jawaharlal Nehru urban mission is there, which is creating urban infrastructure. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban, PM Awas Yojana urban. So they are all providing with, we are providing them and solving the issue of rural development. We are solving the issue of infrastructure and housing. Gati Shakti, National Infrastructure Pipeline. Make sure that environmental sustainability is maintained. Otherwise, if you are doing economic growth and bypassing the environmental sustainability, then you will be not getting the proper benefit out of it. So we need to move into the transition green economy. We have to make our economy, a green economy. So we have to make our economy a green economy. At the same time, we have to look forward for our dependent population. Dependent population below 14 and above 64. Below 14 and above 64 is the dependent population. We have to provide them with proper retirement saving. We have to provide with healthcare benefits. So that is why we have started Atal Pension Yojana, and various other yojanas are running. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Suraksha Bima Yojana. All these yojanas are being running in order to provide them with the proper benefit to these people. So this is how we can restructure our workforce. Now, what are the policy initiative for employment generation that has been there in our country? So this point will come handy, like what government is doing. What government is doing in order to increase employment. You know, government during the COVID-19 time have started the Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Around 27 lakh crore rupees Atmanirbhar Bharat package has been launched by the government. Then for capital intensive sector, government has increased it to 10 lakh crore for capital investment, infrastructure development. It is 3.3% of the GDP. Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, small loans up to rupees 10 lakhs are being provided collateral free. Up to rupees 10 lakh collateral free loans are being provided to micro and small and medium enterprises, small businesses, micro and small businesses. Then PLI scheme to 17 potential sector to create 60 lakh jobs. That means you do the production, the maximum the production you do, more benefit, more subsidy, more tax reforms you will be getting. Garib Kalyan Rozgar Yojana, 125 days on 20 to boost to employment of livelihood in the 6 states: Bihar, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. So now earlier under Manrega there was 100 days. For under the Garib Kalyan Rozgar Yojana it is 125 days of employment you will be getting. Then PM Gati Shakti project. So there are 7 engines: road, railway, airport, ports, mass transport, waterways, and logistic infrastructure. All are being developed in an integrated way, or are being developed in an integrated way so that they provided multimodal connectivity. Multimodal connectivity. Focus is on railway, road, urban transport, power sector. So in the budget, a special PLI scheme for those. 1.97 lakh crore rupees of the budget is being spent especially on the infrastructure side. Then Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program, providing help to the Manrega worker. Deen Dayal Upadhyay, Grameen Kaushal Yojana, Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Urban Livelihood Mission. Lot of small cottage work are being provided under this Yojana. Make in India campaign, Startup India, Stand Up India, Digital India, Smart City, Atal Amrut Mission. It is called Amrut Mission, Housing for All. These are all points that comes handy when you wanted to know like what is the policy initiative that government is providing for employment generation in the country. Now, what are the rights of labor? Okay, you need some constitutional touch also to any answer. So constitutionally, labor is the part of concurrent laws. That means both state government and the central government can make laws on that. Okay, both state government and central government can make laws on that. And if there is a difference between the central and the state law, the central law will prevail. Judiciary has given judicial interpretation also for that. Under Randhir Singh versus Union of India, Supreme Court said even though the principle of equal play for equal work, even though equal pay for equal work, if you are doing same work, the female will get the same amount as the amount that has been given by the male, to given to the male. Then legislative, that means rules made by our government, code of wages, how much wages, industrial relations, social security, occupational safety. These are all laws which protects the labor of our country, protect the labor of our country. Now what is the way forward, like what exactly we wanted to achieve? So there is three important points that we wanted to achieve. What is the way forward? First of all, urgent policy intervention, that is for part of the government that we need in order for a job crisis. Multifaceted approach, we have already discussed. What is the multifaceted approach? Here, restructuring of the workforce. This is also called multifaceted approach. This is called multifaceted approach. You have to write these 10 points, what approach you can do in that. Okay, and encourage industry that have higher labor intensity. That means any industry where lot of labor is required, like your textile is there, then your retail services are there. Okay, so provide them with lot of benefits such as manufacturing and certain services, so they will generate formal jobs in that setting. Okay, and we have to reduce the reliance on the informal jobs. Otherwise, so this 70% reliance on the informal jobs has to come down very heavily, and we have to increase the formal jobs in our economy. So this is the way forward. And thank you so much for this session. And I will be coming you with the next topic. Till then, bye bye. Take care. See. You.